Alright, we're going to demonstrate right now how to glaze up a 3070T, which stands for thermally broken panel. You can follow the instructions on our regular standard 3070 doors. Basically the same. You put the vinyl, then you put the top and bottom rail, and then the two styles. This one we already have partially assembled. It already has the top and bottom rail and the one style on there. And we just want to give you an example on one of these interlockers right here. The only difference between the thermally broken and the standard 3070 panels is that these take two screws instead of just the one down the middle. So as you can see, those screws go on either side of the thermal break. The eye strut that's right here that you can see me pointing to, the screws go on either side of it. So that's the only difference between the thermally broken and the standard 3070. Other than that, basically the process is the same. Line them up. Just tap it on to begin with. Just like so. Just get it started. Leave yourself a gap so that you can get your screw started. You're coming closer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is run the screw in and guide it into the race. That's one started. There's a second. Now before we continue, go ahead and do the bottom. Swing around just so you can see. This was a little bit more difficult only because the race is way up here, so you're not close to the edge. That's the only difference. But you can get the screw still all the way in, and as long as you leave that gap there, you can see the race. And so you can line it up. Same thing for this one. Just get it started into the race. Sometimes still may not have to line it up. Now we got our screws in on both ends. We can get started on hammering the part completely onto the glass. Just get a block of wood and a hammer. Go at it. Sometimes, depending on what glass you're using, it might be easier than other times hammering it on. Just remember, as long as you use the block of wood to cushion the blows, you won't have any worries about damaging the part. So now we hammered on the part. All we're going to do is finish screwing in the screws. Just snug them up. Just snug them up. As soon as it gets snug, then that's enough. You don't have to over torque it. Just like up here. I did the bottom. Now you can see the top. Got a little gap right here. Just tighten it until that gap closes, and that's good right there. Get this other one, just like that. Once you feel that gap close, or you see it visually, cut it right there. Let me tell you why. You want this part to end up square. As you can see, nice and even reveal right there. So this is nice and even all the way across. The style compared to the rail. It hasn't twisted or anything. But let me show you what happens when you over torque it. Okay, so you want to be careful that you don't over torque it. Because if you do, you're either going to strip the screw or it's going to throw this off. Now you can see it's already starting to get an uneven reveal. It's already crushed the eye strut too much. So in other words, this is already collapsing. And what happens is that this end starts twisting on you, and when you go to put this panel inside your frame, it's not going to roll as smoothly as it's designed to. So just be careful that you don't over torque it. As you can see right there, you don't have the nice even reveal, and you can already see the top end of it already twisting up. So to avoid that, do not over torque your screws. especially on this part right here, which is the interlocker with the eye strut that you can visually see right there. Be careful that you don't over torque these. As soon as you see the gap close up from the stile to the rail, that's all you need. You don't have to over torque these screws. Same goes for the bottom. So as long as you're careful with that, you won't have any issues with your doors sliding inside your frame.